Michelle here with Treecat, and I have two really special guests today joining me. They are from the YouTube channel Flippin Ain't Easy. Welcome, Jon and Jenna. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining me.
Nice seeing you
So,
guys.
yeah, so nice to actually talk with you like on a one-to-one basis. That's amazing that you guys took the time out of your day. So thanks again. Yeah, so you guys are a duo of resellers. You sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Bonanza. What am I missing? Anything else? Whatnot?
Maybe
Whatnot?
some. Yeah. One time,
we
whatnot.
did one whatnot show.
Yeah.
Local sales?
Sometimes. I mean, it's more like personal stuff we sell locally. I generally don't sell the stuff that we buy to resell locally for a number of reasons, but a lot of people do. They swear by it. We just really don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that you have a huge following on your YouTube channel and you built this really amazing community. And that's how I heard of you. And I was just like enthralled by this amazing couple and how they're like basically killing it, right? With eBay sales and with all your stuff that you do. And I wanted to find out more about you. And so I was just curious, like how you got started with reselling and how you got started with your YouTube. Tell us the backstory.
I don't know if you've resold online years ago.
No, I've never done reselling before we started together. So
yeah. So for me though, I've sold since 2002, and I did it to supplement my income. So I was working my full-time job. I had time where I could take on the weekends during the day to go and pick up merchandise, and then I would sell that merchandise throughout the week to help supplement income. And that reselling over time, I would stop for a year or two, then go back to it because I was working my full-time job, so I didn't have to do it. And sold all kinds of different things, from pool tables to diamonds, actually loose diamonds, to stun guns, to hard drives. I mean, you name it, we've sold all kinds of stuff. And then I work with that. We both worked with Amtrak for a number of years. She worked for 15. I worked for 26 years. Started there when I was 19 years old, and I worked my way up to management at the call center. I ran the customer service department. We called it the rate desk, but it's where it's a very, very specialized department where you have to know the ins and outs of policies and help conductors, help stations, help people that call in with complaints or problems or just difficult situations. And so I ran that department for about 4 years. And then the last 5 years, I ran the group sales department, where groups of 8 or more we deal with exclusively. So then they came to us and said 60 days before they were closing the office, they said, hey, we're closing the office. You can either go to now we're in California at the time. And they said, you can either go 3,000 miles to Philadelphia, step down for management, take a pay cut, exercise your seniority where you know no one, and work at that call center as just a regular agent, frontline agent taking phone calls, or you can take a severance package. And so that was, we were initially looking at the idea of going. I just could just imagine what that would look like right now. But we took the blind leap of faith, and we were already, that last 2 years, we were already selling part-time for side money anyway, just for the heck of it, buying. I think we bought a bulk.com pallet. We bought stuff, but we weren't all that. It wasn't like we had to do it. But now when, January, the end of January 2019 rolls around, where we have now no job to go to, you feel the freedom of not having a job working for anyone, but then there's the pressure of, now I got to figure out how to make this work. So we ran to we were watching YouTube videos like for a 2-year period anyway, off and on. So we thought, these guys are buying shoes and things at like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross. So let's go to these places and do exactly what they do, and we're going to be rich. So we got home we had a carload of stuff. We were all proud. We had our Nike shoes and cleats and clothes and all kinds of stuff. We took a couple photos for Facebook in front of the merchandise, and then we went to list it, and we're like, this stuff ain't selling very well. And we had to make a number of adjustments, and we kind of got lucky. We found a couple places online where we could source, and we were able to buy a couple good pallets, and it kind of, I think we never looked back from that point on.
I mean, it really just kind of snowballed all by itself. It's very strange going from a regular job going, you've got to clock in, clock out. And now nobody is telling you what time you need to get up, what hours you need to work, what tasks you need to finish throughout the day. So it was for me anyway, he's a workaholic, and he just goes. Me, I needed direction, and I didn't know how to do it on my own. And so I was like, okay, well, okay, what are we doing today?
See, that's the thing about when you run your own departments, you have people working underneath you. You learn that you have to be self-driven. Of course, I did have a boss looking over my performance, but I really wanted to make sure that, my raise was tied to my performance, right? How I did. Yeah. So I took ownership of whatever I was doing, and that translated really well doing this, because you wake up, guess what? I was on salary before. No one's going to worry if you call off sick. Your competition ain't going to worry about it. They're going to be making the money when you're not. So I was self-driven, and I think that was a huge part of it. Some people, just hate to say it, need that boss and may not be cut out for this kind of thing.
Yeah, or they really like getting awards. Like you said you got some kind of special awards, right, in your other job.
Well,
you might not get that as a reseller.
You told me to keep these out. I think it comes off as braggadocious, but really I have two awards. They're President Service Safety Awards that I got from Amtrak while being in both departments. One was for our department's role in developing a key component of really bringing the railroad into like the 21st century and making that work. And then the other one was just leadership, being that supervisor, I guess I was supposed to be, that I guess was exceptional. And they decided to send us to Washington, D.C., made a big hoopla about it. So it's a really proud thing that I keep up there, up on the wall, just to remind myself of, these are accomplishments that I made while working for someone else. Now, no one's going to reward you or give you trophies for showing up every day. It's going to come in the form of, how much you make, and are you able to make this thing work and pay your bills? So, so far, I guess if there was a reward for that or a trophy for that, I guess we would have one, because we've made it work. And usually, mostly just on eBay. I mean, we've tinkered around with the other sites, and we've learned that by pushing merchandise on other platforms like Poshmark, Mercari, even Amazon, and some of these other ones, it can help supplement your sales when things get on the slow side. So, and we've been on the slow side. We've been to the part, we talk about the highs, right? We've been to the lows where 2 years ago we were driving for Uber because we weren't making enough reselling. Yeah. So we had to make some tough changes to make this thing work. One of those things being cross-listing. So.
Yeah. 2022 was a very, very hard time for us. Yes, now we have a toilet seat up on the wall.
I guess that's my trophy.
Our amazing view.
I guess that's our trophy. That's our trophy. It is, right?
Hey, it's a lot more. I mean, for me, the meaning behind it, somebody took the time to really hone in on our business. We sell a lot of accessibility products, and toilet seats are one of them. And so it's just a big joke, but to be able to show off a toilet seat on our wall, from somebody who knows, it came from a humorous side, but yet it still makes us feel pretty proud that we have, such a great community.
Absolutely.
That has, really kind of they've really become family and friends. I mean, we couldn't ask for anything more from our community. So.
Yeah. Can I ask, just out of curiosity, where in California you guys are from? Because I was actually born and raised in Whittier. I don't know if you're familiar with Whittier.
My daughter was born in Whittier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are you guys from SoCal, Northern
Yeah,
Cal?
we are from, well, our last known address was Menifee. So the Riverside County area.
Okay. Yeah.
We've lived in, I was born in San Clemente, California, but I've been, I was raised in Lake Elsinore, moved to Menifee. He's been all over the map. And
Well
keep in
traveled.
mind, we just celebrated our 13th anniversary. So we have,
wow.
we're two families that became one. And our love story started at Amtrak.
Got it. Okay.
And so he has 3 children from a previous marriage, and I have 1. So we have 4 kids, and we have 5 granddaughters, and
wow.
they are our whole world. So,
well, and that gets me to another question. So you're a husband and wife team. I know that with my spouse, there's some learning when you start to work with each other. What kind of challenges have you had with that? Just being a husband and wife team, and how's that been going for you in terms of working with each other?
Well, we worked together before, so keep in mind we worked at Amtrak together. We never worked in the same department, of course, because that would have been a conflict. So we worked in different departments. However, we saw each other every day. And so when we did end up losing our jobs and deciding to do this, it kind of, he's always been the go-getter, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna keep it going. But we really just, it's all about communication for us.
I'm going to share an exclusive.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to share something that I've never shared before in my life with anyone other than you. I think you know about it. So here we go. So of course I was married before, right? Before we knew of each other at work, but and before management, I worked as a customer service rep. So that department that I ended up running, I worked as a representative for a number of years. And she would call and say, "Hey, I got this customer on the line, or I have this question about policy." And, so we knew each other that way from interacting. So after my divorce and all that stuff went through, I knew her, but I started talking to her. And after we hit it off, I was still in that department, but it's something about her that I've never had in my life, where I had that motivation to really try to do more. Cause I was just working that job 9 to 5 and kind of just, it was one day after another. I had really no drive. And so I joined the union, became a union officer, then decided to go for management, got management, things that I really didn't think I was ever going to accomplish. And so I really credit her with a lot of that, because I think if you have someone in your life that really gets you going, it's a game changer. So that's something I really don't think I've ever shared.
I don't know why you're gonna make me cry.
Well, but so now when we're working together, right now we're really well behaved on your show, right? So when you're tuning into our lives, I mean, we are ourselves, where we just interact with each other, right? We tease each other, we play with each other, we get on each other's case about this, that, and the other thing. And what you see on the live stream is pretty much what's going on when the camera's shut off. That's kind of what we don't want to be someone we're not. And we're just comfortable around it. She understands me, I understand her, and that's how it works out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Let's see. What did I want to? Well, I wanted
to go all sentimental on me.
Well, I thought, this is something no one really ever knows.
Yeah, that's very cool. I'm sure there's so many husband and wife reselling teams out there too, as I've learned from, just kind of, going in on your shows, watching your shows, and learning about all the different people that are husband and wife teams. So it's interesting that there's just a lot of people that husband and wives that end up making it working together and enjoying it and loving it and realizing you have this strength, I have this strength that can complement each other, right? It's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah.
What I also wanted to ask was about your community, your YouTube channel, and how you guys got started in that. I think it's such a great resource. You guys provide so much good content and just educational. And also, you guys are analysts, whether you like to realize it or not. You're analysts. You analyze the market and you know what's going on. And so I was just curious. Tell me about your YouTube journey and how you became influencers on YouTube.
Well, you want to start?
Go ahead.
Okay. So after a year of being full-time, and here we are buying pallets, doing well, watching. I think it's the side of me that was used to helping people, as that was my job. People called up, hey, I need help. I need to know the policy, or I need to know how to handle this customer, or can you deal with this customer for me? And I even trained a new hire class in an office in Florida that they ended up basically taking our jobs, unbeknownst to me at the time. So I did a lot of training and stuff the last few years that I worked there. And so really enjoying that part of it, not doing that anymore. You're on eBay, what I call eBay Island, where it's just you and your merchandise, and you can become Tom Hanks real fast if you don't have anyone to talk to or to reach out to. And so watching these videos, trying to interact, a couple of these big YouTubers, hey, reach out to me, email me, and let me know your journey. And you do that, you get no response. And it's like, you know what? These people, either they're not genuine, and half the time I think they're getting it wrong, right? So I said to her, you know what? Beginning of 2020, actually 2020, I am going to just start a channel and just see where it goes. And that's and the goal was to talk about things that I encounter, that here's how I deal with it, and here's what eBay wants you to do, kind of thing, maybe as a learning experience. And that's kind of how it took off.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely even still, you have to play to the algorithm. You have to be consistent. You have to keep continuing to make content, even when you think you've already talked about something. He'll come in and to me and tell me, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to talk about. I've already talked about this subject.
I mean, I've made over 500 videos now, and it's after the first couple hundred, you're like, what do I say that I haven't said already?
Yeah, but it is a constantly changing landscape, isn't it? Things are just always changing, and you have to keep on your toes, don't you? You really do.
Yeah, it's definitely. And I think we were kind of prepared for having to learn to pivot from our previous job. There was a lot of pivoting in that company. I mean, you're just constantly on the lookout for the next change. And it was, I think that really prepared us for this type of industry, because you're constantly you might be great at one thing, and you're selling this one item and it's doing great, but yet 6 months from now, the market is gone and nothing's selling, and you don't know what to do, So I think that we were prepared really, for changing and being able to pivot when we needed to.
Yeah. And so, talking about the market, what are you guys looking at? What's coming next for you? Are you going to be selling? I saw the PPP, and I saw that you were talking about Shopify. So are you looking at Shopify? Are you looking at Walmart Marketplace? Anything that you're
See, I'm a big believer in doing what works, continuing. If what you're doing doesn't work, stop doing that over and over again. If it ain't working for you, it's time to do something and avoid the insanity. But if what you're doing is working, you continue and double down on doing that. So for us, it's always been liquidation until it got kind of weird. And that just took trying to figure it out to do better with it. And once we did that, it's and we supplement with yard sales and stuff like that. But eBay is where we do most of our stuff. We just got a Poshmark sale today, I think, or an offer today. I don't know if you picked it up yet. We have Mercari. We do have stuff on Bonanza, but honestly, I haven't seen a sale in like 6 months on that site. So I don't know what's going on there. So, we just do what we can with the tools that we have, like tools like Treecat. Keep it so that you're not spending just tremendous amount of time trying to do that, right? So you can do your regular listings on eBay, spend a few extra minutes getting that stuff pushed out to other sites, and you don't have to really worry about it. So it's finding processes. But for me, Shopify, it depends on how things go in the next year. And there's some things we're working on with some other people in the background as far as our eBay business is concerned that may require us to maybe look down the Shopify path. But that would be for, something totally unrelated to what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing. You're constantly looking for other opportunities as well. So like when eBay's working great, if you have opportunities to sell stuff on Amazon, and get suppliers for that, then maybe that's something to do. So don't get complacent and, comfortable, because that's when things start to tend to go downhill.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think that being able to reach out to others that do what you do is one of that was another reason why we wanted to do the YouTube channel, is because we needed to speak to people who did what we did. Our family has no idea what it's like to be a reseller. Right. I mean, even to this day, some of our family members are like, how do you even make a living? So they see us doing well, and we, our bills are paid, our cars, we have, but they don't understand where is the money coming from. And so to be able to talk to others that are doing the same thing and bounce ideas off of each other and say, hey, what about this route, or what about this way? And, to be able to have a community, that was our number one goal, is to really make sure that we made ourselves approachable, because I mean, we're approachable people just in nature. However, it's super important when you've got people coming to you and going, hey, I've got this situation, I don't know what to do. And, to be able to, because like he said in his previous comment, he had reached out to some larger YouTubers and he got no reply. And that was multiple times. It wasn't just once I sent an email and, I didn't get a reply. There was nothing. And there was no thank yous, no, you leave a comment on their video, there's no comment back. That's why it's very important for him to make sure that he is commenting on our videos. If somebody leaves a comment on a previous video, he knows about it and he'll go in and reply, whether it's, a thank you or a, go.
I do the best I can. I still kind of fall off a little bit with that.
But even still, it's trying to be as available to the community as possible, because I think there's something about having an outlet or other people to be able to talk about the business with, whether it's good news or bad.
Right. Yeah. It's that personal touch too. I think that your viewers appreciate for sure. And you probably are doing that as well with your reselling, your customer service with your buyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, coming from a customer service company as big as Amtrak, you have to be really good at your job, and customer services it's huge. There's people that will say, I don't even care about the messages, I don't answer them or whatever. And we're like, oh my God, you're totally going the wrong direction. It's like we know how to smooth out a situation probably better than most people, because they've not been in the customer service industry. And it can be trying to figure out how to calm someone down can be challenging.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all those years in customer service have served you guys well for sure. Because I really enjoy your channel. It's just such a pleasant experience to watch your content. So
Oh,
thank you
Thank
as a watcher. Thank you for your content and for what you
you.
guys do. For what you
Even when
guys
the
do.
show goes off the rails,
Yeah,
it's a pleasant
sometimes it
experience.
goes off the rails and it's like a whole nother type of show.
And I want to say thank you also for being early adopters of Treecat and for taking that risk. Because you guys have been so helpful in giving us guidance and ideas and suggestions. And so we're actually working on some of your suggestions, like the multiple eBay stores, which is a feature that we're going to be coming out with after Poshmark sharing, which is coming out very soon. So thank you for that.
Well, I got to say that it's the idea of being able to have a chance to help influence a tool that can help people from a reseller standpoint. So working with a lot of these other companies, the cross-listing programs, it just kind of felt like you were just,
You're
like
just
a
another
number.
number.
You're a number, they're just another seller, and they have an idea what they want to accomplish with their software. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to besmirch any of the other companies. They have an idea what they feel is best. But the fact that you guys gave us an opportunity to really voice our, and, a lot of the feedback we're getting from other resellers too, we're saying, hey, this is what people would want to see. That's what really attracted us to to this. It's fun. It's fun to be able to say, hey, if you can only do this, there's going to be a segment of the reselling population that would really love to have this feature. And the fact that you guys are receptive to that, I think is why we're even here. It's just exciting, and we enjoy the vision that you guys have, and we support that, and we just want to see like the ultimate cross-listing tool eventually.
Yeah.
We can see the vision, right? We're not there yet, but
We'll get there.
we're getting there, right? And
Yeah,
so
we're getting there.
that's what it's just like, I don't know anybody that's ever played like Sim City on their computer or Sim
Yeah.
Farm or whatever.
Yeah.
It's at first when you start, it's just like this landscape,
canvas.
and then after you get a couple hours in it, you're like really like, wow, this is kind of getting somewhere. And I think that's kind of where we're at with Treecat. You guys have added a number of really good ideas and features. You guys are adding more, which is great down the road, and I just can't wait to see what it turns out to be.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I wanted to also ask you about Walmart.com. Have you heard the news that they're allowing resellers to sell used items? And does that interest you at all as a platform? Getting back to platforms, are you guys interested in that at all? No.
Well, let me see, here's the thing. It kind of goes back to doing what was working and continuing to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always looking at, okay, if like, for instance, what we're doing right now just starts to dwindle and we can't make the same level of sales. Now I'm going to start looking at things like that. So I was, for the longest time, I don't know if you knew that you can sell used things on Amazon. Now,
Yes.
I'm sure Michael knows.
Yeah.
But you could sell in some categories used items on Amazon, and there's a reason why I'm not doing that. I have a lot of stuff that would work well, and I think Walmart kind of falls into the same thing where it's the policies that are really, really. If you think eBay is not seller friendly with their policies, you mess up once on Amazon or Walmart, you got a ding on your account, or there's no warning. It's already there. So it's things like that kind of keep me from thinking about those other platforms.
That is the beauty of these smaller platforms like eBay. Well, eBay is not smaller, but it's more seller friendly. Poshmark, Mercari, they are seller friendly. They're kind of, the barrier to entry is very low, and so, yeah, I get that. I totally get that. But I appreciate hearing your perspective about that. I wanted to also ask you guys, so you guys were early adopters of Treecat, and you've used a lot of different reselling tools. Are there any other tools that people might want to be aware of that you find very helpful? Like the one that takes the background out. I remember you talking about some app.
You know what? I got to tell you,
The background.
Photo
that is my favorite. That is my favorite tool. I mean, we love Treecat. Don't get me wrong, but Photo Room is my favorite tool.
Photo Room, okay.
Photo Room, and
okay.
we pay like $60 a year for that service. But I got to tell you, there's something about it. And eBay is, they've kind of transitioned from, we want you to use white backgrounds only, to now they're saying, hey, you can utilize some of these AI backgrounds. And the moment that they change because they have this tool that doesn't really work on their software. I don't know if you've tried it, but it takes the white background off, and
I actually use that.
It doesn't work so good because it leaves jagged edges and stuff, and it doesn't look natural in many cases. And sometimes it doesn't take all the white background out. So and then once you do it, there's no tool to go in and touch it up like this other tool that we use. But my thing for the biggest time was white backgrounds, because that's what Google has been telling eBay that they want to see. They prefer that. So eBay's been pushing that. Now that they went to AI backgrounds where you can have, basic like backgrounds in place, like on a table or something like that, that's kind of got me to think that eBay wants you to make a photo that's going to stick out to other people, and to be able to create, like I have this little backdrop area where I take my photos. It's not anything special, but I could take a pool pump that I'm selling, and I can transform that to where it's on the concrete, a nice little pool behind it, and it looks natural. That's fun. And it does help your sales. So any tool I can utilize that's not only going to make the job interesting, but help me with my sales or help my item stand out, that's one that I would recommend to anyone.
So what else excites you right now? Is there any new technologies out there that you're excited about, or any new things that you're just really excited about that you want to talk about, that you want to share? Like AI, are you excited about AI? Or are you scared about AI?
Well, I mean, in 10 years, AI is going to probably be a lot more. I mean, you could write a song on ChatGPT, right? Tell it to write you a song, tell it, give it 2 lines about whatever the subject is. It'll write you a song. And there's another AI website. You can take that song and you tell it what style, you want it 70s style, you want it, you put out the parameters, and it'll turn that song into something like, wow, I cannot believe this. Someone must have been in the studio recording this thing. And so that's kind of exciting to me, but that doesn't really relate to reselling. As far as reselling is concerned, Gemini, I use that a lot. Now, a lot of people use eBay's AI description tool, and it's labeled as AI. I don't really see it as being much of AI at all. I mean, there is a little bit of the AI element in there to turn what's in your item specifics and your title into a 2-paragraph fluffy piece about what you're selling. But I don't use that. A lot of people do. I go into like Gemini, and I just simply tell it to write me a title, write me a description. I insert the title, and it writes me a bulletized, just like if you see on Amazon how they're, the features of an item are laid out with bullets. And I just take that, boom, put it in my item description, and we do a lot of different things, right? With all these different tools. And I'm convinced there's not really just one that helps us, because we're pretty successful with reselling on eBay. And I think it's just the culmination of everything that we do that is why we're successful, and with those tools being part of it.
Yeah. And I think it didn't come natural, we just didn't know all these things. It was trial and error. We were trying other programs. We were doing it just on our own. Of course, it takes a lot of trial and error to get to where the success just starts to come. And it's, and I'm sure things will change in a year, and we'll have to readjust and pivot, and we'll do so. But for now, we love Canva, we love Photo Room. There's lots of programs that help us succeed.
Definitely.
And of course,
Treecat. Thank you. Jon and Jenna, I could sit here and talk to you guys for hours, but I want to be respectful of your time. Thank you again for coming on my channel. And
Pleasure.
you guys, you can check out, if you aren't familiar with Flipping Ain't Easy, you can check them out on YouTube, and also the Profit Playbook podcast, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We just came out with an episode today, so yes.
Yes, and it's a really good one. It's talking about all kinds of controversial things, we'll say. Yes.
Very good.
All right, you guys. Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks again, and have a great weekend.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.